Crisis averted.
I'm kind of glad that they moved away from that because I was probably about to trip over a cable. But yeah, we had MBK again.
IEM
We had.
Sydney.
That's interesting. We had also RPK was having a really big CT side, and he went very quiet as well. So I think it's one of those things where everybody just seemed to fade away. They maybe got a bit overconfident, and then nearly every member on the side of Heroic, like, we're singing the praise of Freiburg because it is sort of surprising that he had such a big game. Like, as I said, it's something we haven't seen for a long time. And there he is again. Good start, but it is going to be traded back straight away from RPK. T-side start from Vitality, but they have started strong. 2 opening kills on towards that A site. Tag looking to try and rotate in, but he can't do anything about the bomb plant.
It's down. Spotting out MBK there. Unable to get the frag just yet. MBK wary as to the players now pushing ramp in towards Radio Room. And there's 2 players as well. NATO Safix backed up by Stown into, as we said, the 4 versus 3. So they can now try to corner off MBK here, playing outside the squeaky door. But MBK with 1. MBK as well trying to go for that second kill as it is the exchange up close. Has the backup as well of RPK. Although, NATO Safix with 1. What a strange occurrence here towards this Radio Room. What on earth is going on? NATO Safix running out of bullets. Players running out of health apparently as well. But it will be Alex to eventually secure the deal. 1-0 there. That was such a strange round.
Well, speaking of strange rounds, look at the force buy. We've got double mag 7s already. Can we get a little more? Any more shotguns? No, I don't think so.
We're effective so far today.
Double scout, double mag 7. What's the final weapon going to be? Deeg. That's a little bit more common. But yeah, no surprise to see a force buy coming in from Heroic going into this next round, and only a single AK alongside the Galil for Vitality, so definite opportunities, especially, I really like this. They're putting the double scouts both outside, so they're both just going to be trying to watch onto the cross. The problem is the smokes have already gone down, so this is just going to leave them without too much information of whether or not there's been a rotation. S-Tag will be there. The Mag 7, $900. Even just some bonus cash is nice. How much more can they do here?
Let's see the BlameF with the scout. Unable to land the tag just yet. We'll be falling back in towards CT Spawn. MBK as well could be burning alive Freiburg. So we are back into the 4 versus 4 after the entry that S-Tag did get with that shotgun. As now Vitality make their way in towards A main and eventually concluding towards the A site. S-Tag up close with the shotgun, gets 1. Traded out fast though by MBK, but not before Stown founds 2 and tries to go for the 3rd as well to get that last one into MBK. However, 1 versus 2 now. NATO, Safix, and BlameF both with scouts, and MBK on 24 HP.
Yeah, NATO hit the tag from above, so just 1 more bullet needed to win this force buy round and get Heroic off to that flying start. As said, economy-wise, winning the pistol and losing the 2nd round is pretty much as bad as it can get, especially when there's some Mag 7s earning money on the other side. Smoke going to be going down almost as a fake to try and bait them into forcing the issue. Molotov will at least give him a little bit of space to try and get that bomb down, but there's not going to be any push through it. They're just waiting patiently. Heroic taking their time. Nade going to go through, and Blame will hit the shot with the USP. Heroic bounce back. A strong round from S-Tag, and as mentioned, although there were a lot of players sort of coming back and him having the 1v2 clutch towards the end of the game to take them to 15, he still had a pretty quiet performance. So to get off to a good start here, always going to be a good sign. Such good odds there for Vitality. On Nuke, 1.72. Even though they are the extreme heavy favorites. I believe it was, what, 1-9 or something, you know, extremely heavily favored for Vitality in that first one on Overpass. But, I mean, that was the Liquid game, I'm not sure. Either way. Well, those were the, yeah. Yeah, it was either way. It was a 1-6 or 1-5 or something ludicrous like that. And obviously, Heroic making it 16-14. Vitality, though, coming into this there map pick. Still, people seem to forget as well. It was 16-14. It's down with 2. And that's the thing we didn't actually get to see on our screens, unfortunately, was the 2K from the Dig from Stown that really did change the pace of that last round. But Apex now last alive. Should be easy to be dealt with here by Heroic. And just like that, 2-1 now as we head into the 3rd round. Yeah, very clean round at that. That's always going to be valuable. And you have to bear in mind that was a force buy from Vitality. That wasn't a save. So they invested everything they had into that one. And Heroic barely even break a sweat. So strong start on their CT side. Pretty much as important a CT side it can get to starting strong. Just building up that cash, making sure you have the utility to quell any early aggression that comes out on towards the A site. And maybe some counter nades to be thrown outside as well. And this round, a singular flashbang to try and get something from Vitality in this one.
Let's see then. Grouped up towards ramp. No Kevlar here for any of the players. Just Glocks across the board here for Vitality. As a tag with the Scout. Not the best weapon here when you've got players just following their way through without armor towards you. NATO Safix though able to find just one, but it is down there towards that B-bomb site, able to seal the deal. So 3 players surviving for Heroic as it does go 3-1 as we head into the 5th round. And now this is where things get interesting for Vitality. They don't have the money for an AWP unless MBK goes for drops it out to ZywOo with no armor, which is very unlikely to see. Should just be the 5 AK buy from Vitality, and now we start to see the strategies. Are they going to go for the heavy smoke play towards that side? Are they going to commit towards Secret? Are they going to go for the executions towards A? Faking outside smokes, grouping out elsewhere. All questions to be answered very, very shortly here, Tom.
Yeah. We also see a similar scenario to the last map where, because they won the 2nd round, Heroic actually have a fair bit of cash still saved up into their bank, even though they've upgraded a fair few of the weapons after losing a couple in the last round. So they're in a pretty good situation when it comes to the early rounds on this CT side. And well, looking like it's just going to be a brute force issue for this T side, but it seems like a good read coming out from NATO underneath the vent, is able to catch 2 as they tried to drop down. Freiberg also with another double onto that MP9, and Alex now left all alone. 1 versus 4. Already spoke about how they've managed to keep money and upgrade. Now they get some free weaponry as well in the form of Freiberg, and NATO with a fantastic round. A triple kill from him. A good setup. It seemed like they knew that Vitality wanted to try and drop down into the vent.
So now awkward situation again for Vitality. $3,000 across the board. They shall just go for the quasi buy, I imagine. But yeah, the play down the vent not working out in their favor. Heroic looking strong here, Tom. Are you still leaning for the Vitality win here on Nuke, or after the performance they showed in the last map? Remember, 11 rounds, 1 in a row. Their current form, obviously not historic form, but their current form right now being so strong. Do you think they can still take this, even though it's for the CT side of Nuke?
What, do I think Vitality can still take this?
Sorry, Heroic.
Heroic, I definitely think they can. Like, again, David's coming through with more stats, and they're talking about how they haven't played it much in 2019, but both times they've won, and how this is a fantastic map statistically for Blame, where we're getting some like ridiculous ratings onto the board as well. So there's definitely potential for Heroic. Like, no doubt, I'm not going to count them out of the picture. Like, they're a team on the rise. They've been getting better and better as they go, and given a sort of bit of a lucky break to get into this event with other teams having problems with visas, they're sort of in a perfect scenario where they weren't expecting to be here, and they've been given an opportunity, so they don't really have much to lose. So yeah, of course Heroic can still take this, especially if they continue in the way they've been going. They're a team that, especially when you look at people like NATO and Blame, that they really do get pumped up off the back of, like, well, basically just incredible rounds, and that sort of comeback is going to have the blood racing for sure.
Oh, the morale, the morale's going to be so high right now for Heroic.
And NATO getting off to a start of 10-2, like,
it's great to see.
We haven't seen many massively statistical games out from him since joining Heroic. It's not really been his role, so if he can have one now, there's not a better time. So,
what's the call going to be from Vitality? So far, seems more of the call coming out from Blame F, playing so aggressive here. Obviously known as the entry fragger for Heroic, but here on that CT side, getting ever so close towards the outside of the map. Alex, though, expecting something quite quirky, must be up with that smoke towards the red container. So slow play coming out here from Vitality, but Alex should be clearing the craze. He spots the head, but actually no, Blame F with the first one. ZywOo should be able to try and stop the player Blame F from falling back, but does land the wallbang there through the blue crate. My goodness.
You got to be scared if you're Blame, and well, he will eventually go down. This battle of outside has left both teams wounded. Tank just waiting patiently. A standoff between the two, and ZywOo, ever patient, is going to get the victory. And actually, NATO's going to go down as well. It's left on to Stown and Freiberg to try and somehow turn this back. Both currently sat on the A site, so if a push comes in that direction, they have a chance anywhere else, and well, it's unlikely to go their way, but it is looking like an A hit is the decision from Vitality. Even with both players here, it should still be a round for them to take. The only real problem is the time getting low can mean that things get a little bit more rush. Maybe a position isn't checked properly, but Freiburg peeking out will give it away, and now Stown has to pull off something incredible, and MBK will spot him out clean from Vitality as they get their second round on the board, the first since they won themselves the pistol.
Round 8. And as you said, first round they got since the pistol, ever since then, Heroic with the upset on the 4-spy, winning 5 in a row. Vitality finally getting 1 on the board. But can they keep up? Well, can they string them together, essentially, is the bigger question here at hand. Because we spoke about the morale being high for Heroic. Conversely, juxtaposition, Vitality going to be so frustrated with that loss on the last map being 14-5 up. Zaiwu there. He landed the tag and the entry there through the squeaky door out towards Freiburg in A main. But so far from Vitality, a much slower round here. No smokes thrown towards outside just yet. Instead, waiting for the aggression to come from that CT side, and then eventually, most likely going to go for that sort of set play as they are starting to pin the smokes, line them up, and go for the outside execution. And it is going to be BlameF playing the off angle there as well. So what he's holding for in towards Garage before it was smoked off was the off angle in towards A main. And now all he can really do is say to his teammates, they can go towards A main, they can go towards Under Heaven, and they can go down Secret. But Esataki with the great angle as he does pin down the first shot onto MPK.
Yeah, RPK low as well. It won't matter. It's the orb doing the damage, and he faces off against Zaiwu once again, but it's still just trying to buy time. He's already done enough, and he gets a third as well. Zaiwu this time punished for his aggression, and Esatag stepping up big when needed. This is a chance to bounce straight back. Apex, however, has gained a lot of ground. It seems like Stown is more than aware that this is possible, but he looks away at the wrong time. However, he turns back, gets given a chance, and Esatag with a quad kill. Stepping up big after a fairly quiet first map. Sits right near the top of the board, 8-4, and 6-2 lead now for Heroic.
Tactical timeout, the first one of that coming out from Vitality. Gosh, down there. At first looks so unlucky, and then actually somehow swivels his head around 180 and still lands that headshot towards Heaven. And that is the difference maker there for Heroic. 6-2 now as they do win back. Thankfully, though, Tom, we spoke about the difference between the new money and the old one.
Yeah.
Vitality can be very happy with the update to money where they can still buy now.
It's not as painful.
Yeah, otherwise it's going to be what? A 9-1, or sorry, excuse me, a 9-2 scoreline, something ludicrous like that. But they are going to go for the buy here into round number 9. It just seems rather lackluster at the moment for them.
Yeah, they still get quite a decent purchase in this round at least. So it's like it's not the end of the world. Like, they'll have the AWP onto Zaiwu. There's a lot of utility missing, though, which, even just for little things, let's say you don't have an HE for the door. Like, that means that maybe Zaiwu's peak's not going to be as aggressive, or he has to open it himself. Like, it's very minor details, but it could be enough. Okay. MBK, again, it's a couple of rounds now in a row where we've seen a lot of early damage done to a couple of players on this Heroic side. None of them really getting punished for it, however.
None so far. But through the squeaky, Freiburg spots out MBK. Trying to go for the kill in towards BlameF on A main. But Zaiwu here towards outside. He can have the backup of his teammates as well as they are going for the smokes again. Interesting to see if they do the line of smokes and the wall of smokes towards Secret, or if they do the smokes towards A main and Garage. Can't really see it from that angle. But it seems like, yeah, towards Garage, towards A main. And typically when you see the smoke, it does allude to going down towards Secret or coming towards Heaven, Under Heaven, and working a split that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, so much to be, so many questions to be asked now for Heroic as to where do they go? Are they expecting a flank in towards Heaven, coming back towards the back of ramp, or towards Heaven itself, towards the A site? Or are they going to go down Secret? And it seems like they will be doing the latter.
Well, I think they had to. But just because of the reason that they lost MBK, like the aggression that came out from Stown meant that they couldn't really risk going back towards the A site because you don't know what map control you've lost, and slower plays could have meant that they pushed all the way outside. Esatag, however, is already here. The clock starting to tick, and he's actually going to go through the smoke. He's waiting for Alex, but he misses, and that's the opener they needed. Esatag and NATO both go down at the same time. Now the CTs are left with just 3 remaining. A tough retake at that. They do have the money to go for this. They could still buy into the next round, even if every single player dies. So they are going to start this push forward. Stown spots out Alex. but neither player really hits the finishing blow, and they're going to look to try and take control towards the door, but there's already been a rotation around. The T's taking positions together, playing the anti-flash RPK. He gets one, and actually Apex caught out without his gun in hand. Blame has got two back. Nice shot from Alex through the door, and eventually they do close it out, but still that seemed to come a little bit too close for comfort. And as said, the cost was kind of worth it for Heroic. It's risky to lose that much money when you're on the CT side especially, but if you do that much damage, I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
What, to go for that retake, and even if it comes down to the 2 versus...
Yeah, because they can still buy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. But yeah, Vitality there. Obviously, they did the same smokes as the last round, smoking out towards A main, under Heaven, and towards Garage. Not really showing their hand until they did go all the way down Secret in towards that B side. It was very, very effective, even though BlameF found 2 there onto, I believe it was Apex and RPK. But back towards the B site. Instead, this time it's going to be NATO Safix manning the site. And MBK up close to the MAC-10 could still deal some devilish blows, especially as NATO Safix hasn't invested into head armor. 2 players towards the B sides. Ezatag's there to back up NATO too. But for now, 3 players still from Vitality towards the outside vicinity of the map. As now they go for the wall of smokes. This is where they mimic to go down Secret. However, will they try some other plays up their sleeve to try and basically go for a double fake? Let's see.
Bit of utility being expended, at least in an attempt to slow them down, but it didn't work at all. MBK has managed to take a lot of ground. Down hits the timing, good though, but it's a quick trade back and still leaves them, well, now in an even scenario as Freiburg finds RPK, Saiwu trades another. It's back and forwards all the way this round, and it's left on to Freiburg once again. The king in the last map. Can he repeat the style and execution he had towards the end of Overpass, or is this just going to be an easy finish to a 4th round on the board from Vitality? It's going to be taking his time. Has a kit, has a smoke, has a flashbang, so doesn't really have to race through this one. The problem is Saiwu is holding the angle indefinitely, and Freiburg is not going to stand a chance.
There you have it, the wall of smokes. Walking down Secret is Vitality all the way towards the B site, and it's basically all opened up by MBK with that MAC-10. NATO Safix not investing into head armor, and he paid the price for it. 6-4 now as we head into the 11th round here, Tom, and Vitality now starting to put up a bit more of a fight on their map pick. Then again, they are on the T side. Notoriously a CT side map. Not so much here in CSGO. But either way, 2 MAC-10s now coming up from Vitality. Anticipating the eco, and they would be right, as all they really have there is a deagle from BlameF up close.
Well, yeah, backing you up with the sort of CT side in this for Vitality, they win 66% of their CT rounds, so not anything crazy, to be honest.
Yeah, more of like a 9-6.
Yeah, gives away more of a chance. Again, these deagles, though, that's 1 apiece now. They're going to go for the crossover, and Stown just seems to be the king at the moment with that pistol in hand, and he's even going to get the 3rd to add to the list. This left on to MBK. An AWP has been retrieved. The bomb also on the floor. Stown just going to be waiting. He's retreated back, but MBK does enough. The unarmored player unable to do anything here. And now Blame slowly rotates in, but does MBK play this? Does he go back up the vent? Because I think if he does, if he goes A, this round is over, and Blame's actually going to go pushing. MBK is going to clutch it out. No armor for his opponent, so it did make things a little bit easier, but even still, he had to save them. And again, it's another example that we can quote that interview. We need to work on our anti-eco rounds, and again, it comes too close.
Yeah, it comes too close because they weren't quite close enough. Just down there with the Deagle, able to find 1 kill apiece each and every time. Saiwu obviously traded out, but was on his own. RPK went in 2nd after it was too late, and Stan already got the first headshot. There wasn't the trade frags that we used to be seeing by the top teams against the Ecos. Instead, their spacing was far too far apart, peaking 1 by 1. But yeah, at the end of the day, Stan still has to land the shots, and he did so very well. 6-5 now is the 2nd timeout coming up for Vitality, as they need to work out how the hell are they going to distribute their drops and their funds going into this round. But either way, all back in the hands of Saiwu. MBK and Alex can buy as well, so nothing really too worrying coming as of yet. But Heroic now with another buy. I nearly said MAC-10 then. MP9 coming up for NATO Safix. Org for BlameF. Orb for Ezatag. And apart from that, M4's across the board here, Tom.
I think it's a while since we've actually seen a kill from NATO as well.
Yeah, still 10-7, I believe, right now.
I think he was 10-2. Okay. The battle through the door leaves just one casualty. As Stown is out of this one, and he has been one of the heavy hitters so far for Heroic in this second map of the series. For anybody who missed it, they won 11 rounds in a row to take the last map 16-14, so Vitality could be sat with a round advantage or map advantage very easily here. Instead, they're a map down, but on their choice, and with already 5 rounds on the T side, could be feeling fairly confident in this scenario. As mentioned, they win about 66% of their CT rounds, so if they get too many more, you have to start to worry a little bit for Heroic.
Yeah, more statistics as well to come. So far, Heroic have won 10 out of their 11 entry duels thus far on this map. Goes to show how strong their entries have been on their CT side when they have been playing aggressive. But speaking of aggressive, it's NATO Sapphics with 2 from the elevated angle that's take down RPK and Apex. But now we see ourselves into the clutch for MBK. Big round here for both of these teams, especially looking at the cash from both sides. Could put the game on a knife's edge here. However, very capable shoulders here for the pressure to be put upon onto MBK as he does jump down the vents towards the B site. So far, no one here from the side of Heroic, but S-Attack may be here just in time, and he is. We'll be taking down MBK. So 7-5 here for Heroic on their CT side, and going forward, Vitality should be saving, so maybe they can get towards 8 or 9. Yeah,
I think they're definitely going to want to do that in terms of being able to sort of stay within this map. They don't want to allow Vitality to get too many more rounds, and yeah, it's actually interesting. MBK has been the real standout player so far for Vitality. Zywoo hasn't done too much. Like, the AWP hasn't really had that much impact. Apex, obviously the entry fragger for the team has been very quiet, but that's sort of what you expect with an entry fragger. Either it's going very well or it's not going well at all, because you're trying to take those early fights. You're taking the risks that most of the time your teammates are not willing to take. This round, as you mentioned, it's just could be some pistols. Nothing much for the side of Vitality, but we know that they can still do a lot of damage with very little. They came close to closing out or getting to their 15th round on the last map with just pistols. If it wasn't for S-Attack with a 1v2 clutch, it would have gone that way, and we could be sat again with the 1-0 in the favor of Vitality instead. But here we go. Brute Force is the name of the game. They're going to go right in towards this site. Stown is able to survive on the very edge of the hut. Well, in the end, it's the cleanup. NATO Sapphics able to get 2 and make some cash along the way.
Yeah, exactly. Able to find 2 kills and cash, but also 3 players surviving for Heroic. So they should be able to buy up as well into the last round in case they lose this one, which is important. So now coming into round number 14 then, 8-5. Still the 3-run advantage for Heroic, who've been looking so strong so far on Nuke. And obviously the upset in the last map as well on Overpass. Even though it was their map pick, they managed to bring it back from that 14-5 scoreline. See smokes as well going towards the outside of the map. It's not going to be the wall of smokes this time, though. Instead, the ones towards A main and garage. Oh, MBK, look what he's got to. Already in towards A main, finds 1 onto Freiburg. Stown, though, playing towards the default side, able to train back 3. My goodness, now into the 2 versus 3. Vitality have brought this one back, but it's an even exchange.
Yeah, Alex, though, is caught off one more. Stown needs the ace. That should be the 4th, although it's close. And it comes out anyway. He has to trade to the AK, and he finds the kill as well. An ace for the youngster. As mentioned him as someone to watch, and he's definitely proving it now. 20 kills to his name, to the 10 deaths he has, and an ace when Heroic needed it the most. 9 rounds on the board for them. Vitality have got to force the issue into this final round of the half, and that was incredible.
Yeah, imagine the morale right now in the team. As you said before, the cheerleaders for the team basically blame F for NATO Sapphics, cheering on their young gun. Do you know how old Stown is? Maybe look that one up, actually. It'd be interesting to see just how...
I think he's 17.
17, my goodness.
I will check, but I'm
sorry?
fairly sure. It always seems to be when I say that they've just had a birthday or something. But
yeah, it's just the caster's curse, right? But speaking of curses, Pistols charging down an AWP, but S-Attack managed to keep his cool for 1. But RPK had the fast trade back. Freiburg's made his way onto the scene. He's found 1, 2, and maybe the 3rd as well, but not quite. Luckily for him, though, NATO Sapphics is there to get the spray transfer and transfer us into the second half. 10-5. Can Heroic try and make it the 2 apiece and the 2-0? Find out shortly after this, few-minute break.
Well, it was a 10-5 half for Heroic. And a good showing from them as well. Like, it got a little bit dicey in the middle, but they definitely turned it back around. Some big plays coming out from the likes of Stown. NATO Suffix as well, having a big performance. 16 and 8 for him on the board. The question is, can they now quell the CT side of Vitality? We saw ZywOo go nuclear on the CT side of the last map. We've seen MBK have a strong performance so far. You know, they win the pistol. They could be in a similar situation we saw Vitality in just a map ago.
Let's see then, 10-5, as you said, a few of the players here playing so well for Heroic. Freiburg was one of them, the last one, especially as it is going to be a cluster here towards Ramp, but a cluster which ends in an even exchange. 2 players apiece here for both of these teams. As Apex is towards the B bomb site. RPK, they're playing towards A. And BlameF and SSAG are grouped up together here with the bomb towards Ramp, and Apex is starting to apply the pressure here with 1 kill onto SSAG as it all comes down to the very mighty and bold shoulders of BlameF. How many references to the gym can I make? But let's see. No defuse kill as well for the CT side, so there's another point to make out if they do play for the retake.
Yeah, I'm sure he can take them both outside the server, but let's see if he can take them both inside the server. Although I think the tank would give him a run for his money. There we go, though. Trying to clear all the angles. He's got a lot of time. That's the one real thing that you have to mention. He doesn't have to rush this. He doesn't have to go for the plant anytime soon. And the chances are on Nuke, you have to split the defense. You can't really gamble in. And he is going to spot out Apex. Tries to fall back in within the smoke and just hope that Apex isn't going to manage some sort of fluky spam through. We will now see the rotation starting to come out from RPK, but he's actually going to be able to back away here. Now, that could be something interesting. Apex going to try and bait him out, starting to spam through, and will catch him while he runs out of bullets. Apex wins that one and doesn't need the help from RPK, and that will be a 6th on the board now from Vitality. So both pistols have now gone their way.
Yeah, it does get the bomb plant though as well. Extra cash now for Heroic to work with if they do decide to force it. However, pretty best here just to save this one and get for the full buy into round number 18 and play back from their 10-7 scoreline. And now for Vitality, this is where they have to be so efficient with their money, especially in the CT cell as well if you want to run the orb onto ZywOo. Get the SMGs, try and have 4 or 5 players staying alive and don't concede away your armor, utility, your weapons as well, away to the ecos, which is one of the issues that they spoke about in their interview prior. But Stan with the Deagle, he has been so good with it so far in this matchup. Multiple times he's found multiple frags, and this could be another scenario as well if he wants to try and upset Vitality.
Oh, RPK getting a little bit adventurous and, oh, is punished for it. MBK still going strong though. Another kill for him on the board. We'll get even another. Really padding those stats in this pistol round. Obviously, they can afford to invest a little bit into this one thanks to Blame getting the bomb down. So they'll still have a purchase into the next. And if NATO can even drop one more player, it would make that buy in the next quite a bit weaker than it would have been. Of course, for him, not really expecting to be able to do too much in this scenario. And sort of while we wait, for anybody who doesn't know, Ents did take the first map, but it's 9-6 in favor of the guys at Renegades in the second. So definitely still a possibility that that map also goes the distance. Here we go, NATO just waiting patiently, hoping for someone to push into his crosshair. It isn't going to be happening, unfortunately, for him, although there's still an opportunity to find the likes of MBK, who are just around the corner, and he will. That's the one dig. That's exactly what he needed. Just do a little bit of extra damage. Like winning the round, probably out of the question, but at least causing cost for Vitality when you know there's a buy coming in the next round is going to be huge for him.
Has the MP9 as well, so $600 per kill with that weapon. If they wanted to funnel the orb onto SSAG on their T side as well. Not sure if they will be running the orb on the terrorist side, though, immediately. Either way, NATO Safek's going to go down here probably to Apex, and he shall. However, 2 kills found for him, or 1 apiece from him and Freiburg. Damage done. As now we head into the 18th round, and this is where the action really starts to heat up, as it will be the 4 AK buy. BlameF, unfortunately, just a little bit. Actually, no, he has more Kevlar, so he's trying to work out the best utility to buy. Does go for the Molotov. So that could signal they go for a burst towards the A side. That Molotov thrown top of the T roof there on towards the A side. Either way, though, let's see. Smoke's going towards the outside vicinity of the map, and it will be the wall of smokes. That Molotov, though, may leave a gap for ZywOo to take advantage of. but with an MP9, not really too much advantage he could be taking.
Yeah, instead it's actually Freiburg gaining a hell of a lot of map control. The boost in for MBK, though, not going to be checked initially, and he gets 2. That's more than should have been achieved there, and Heroic are going to be kicking themselves. They're unable to clear him. A lot of this is going to rely on to Freiburg. Like, can he find somebody within this lower bomb site? Bomb still just sat towards the ramp. Can't really make too much of a move. Just based off, if he goes down anywhere around those angles, he's going to be in trouble. And I always like this spot from Alex. Just sits there with the AUG. Can still take the long-range battle if needed over towards the ramp. Or towards, well, where we currently see Freiburg residing. They're going to have to make some noise soon. 45 seconds left on the clock, but there you go. S-Tag makes an opener, and Flames all placed. He misses the spray completely. That's as messy as it can get. Now Freiburg looking to try and trade things back. He stepped. He's made some noise. Zaiwu doing the same. He's just going to try and wait in a passive angle. This could work wonderfully. Here's RPK coming. Hits the shot onto 1, and now they know he's here. Do they expect S-Tag?
Oh.
No, they don't. And they've turned this back. Freiburg again with a double, but S-Tag with 3. And Heroic, I did not expect them to take that round after the early battle from MBK. But there's a reason why he's on 21 kills, and the next down on the side of Vitality is 10.
Yeah, strange to see.
That was 7 and 13.
It's very, very strange to see. Uncharacteristic here coming out from Vitality, and they are going to be calling for the tactical timeout. Only 1 remaining, though, after this one, Tom. And yeah, 11-7. This time they're on the opposite end. Deja Vu not coming back in their favor. Bit of a stark contrast to what we saw on the last map. I mean, actually, between the break, just as FYI for the viewers, me and Tom were talking a little bit during that 2-minute break, and, you know, you said, Zaiwu, CT side, he's going to be so strong. You still thought Vitality could come back. Where is he now? 7-13. So uncharacteristic, especially for how hot he was in the last CT.
He hasn't gone up yet.
Okay, maybe that's the reason why in your head.
I'm trying to dig myself out there. But let's be real.
Yep.
Anybody not predicting him to have a good half in the next is mentally insane. Like, there's no other. Either that or you've, like, spiked his drink or something and you just know that he's not going to play well. Because to bet against someone who's been so consistently fantastic, like, rating-wise is up there with the best of them. Like, up there with Simple. No one's been up there with Simple for a long time. So
yeah,
for him to have a quote-unquote bad game, it doesn't happen. And Heroic, maybe they're doing something that just he can't seem to counter. It's a force buy in from Vitality. An XM for Alex.
Yeah, Mac-10 from the side of NATO Sapphics, but apart from that, much better buy from Heroic if we are to contrast them. And this is the force from Vitality. So if they lose this one here, Tom, then it's what, 12-7? They're onto an eco, 13-7. Nearly got half the score of Vitality at that point. So let's see then. Smoke coming in towards Garage, outside their main. Molotov as well towards Secret. As they do make their way now towards outside, taking the long-range duels with their rifles. But for the side of Vitality, you said that M4 for Apex does get a bit of spam damage to NATO Sapphics, but apart from that, telegraphs exactly where he is. Blame F has made noise. Not sure which player that is. It's MBK up close with the Deagle. Spots out the shoulder as well for NATO Sapphics from behind. That's the bomb too. Telegraphing exactly what the plan is coming out from the side of Heroic, but only good enough for 1 there from behind. And apart from that, things really falling into place for Heroic.
Even still, RPK's managed to pick off another, and the actual weaponry in this round, it's still up. Like, you've got, sure, the XM, okay, not ideal, but on this map, of all maps, it's actually something quite viable. And then I was going to say you have Apex with the gun, but not anymore. S-Tag, again, has stepped up to find both openers onto the site. Alex just seems to be in disarray. Like, what do you do here? Like, it's great if you're on the A site and they all come running towards you. It's great if you're on ramp and, again, they all come running towards you. Not so fantastic when you're in a retake on the A site.
Not so fantastic indeed. He may actually just save it as well then. As you said, play on top of hut towards the A site or play towards ramp up close and personal. But yeah, it's going to go 12-7 in favor of Heroic here. And for Vitality, this isn't the start to the tournament that they expected. Just to take an update as well, real quick. What is the score in the game for Renegades and Ents? That's
10-7.
10-7 in favor of
Renegades, but a force
Ents.
fire win just came in for Ents.
Okay, so could be seeing Renegades versus Vitality in that losers bracket. That would be something to see.
Yeah, there's a long way to go. Stats also.
You say a long way to go, but actually it's just 4 rounds here from Heroic.
Yeah, but 4 rounds against Vitality is a long way to go. Like, you don't know what can happen in those moments. It is really interesting, like, again, looking at some of these stats, like, ZywOo is the 4th highest rated player on Nuke this year in Tier 1 events. If Heroic win this will be their most prolific victory.
Probably ever.
Yeah, as this roster. This is Stound's best performance this year on this map. Like, there are a lot of things coming together.
What a time to have it, right?
Yeah.
So, Alex did save the shotgun for this exact reason, playing the off angle towards ramp, hoping someone walks into his crosshair up close. But Heroic playing it slow, steady, as that's what's going to win the race. Playing in towards radio room, waiting to see if there's an early aggression from the shotgun from Vitality. But now, smokes towards outside. This time, not the wall of smokes. Again, a main and garage smoke. And they slowly shift their way towards outside and take those long-range duels towards Heaven and towards the A sites.
Alrighty, though. Nater's going to open up with one Stound, just lurking in the back lines, waiting, and will catch Alex out. Again, that's the one gun dropped. He will get dinked, but looking to just try and escape. Will ZywOo take him down? No, that nice headshot rounding the corner, and well, they're really trying to get this gun out of his hands. XM picked up, and the tank can't even do it. No one can remove Stound from this map. Another quad kill for him. 26 and 14, 17 years old, playing against the 2nd best team in the world at the moment. And the best player in the server is, without a doubt, Stound.
Indeed. Round number 21 then. 13-7. And it will be another buy coming from Vitality, so we can't count them out just yet. No AWP as well for Heroic, but then again, they've been playing this pace where they hold out towards the aggression at the early start of the round. They do the smokes towards outside, be it the wall of smokes or the smokes towards garage and A main, and then they play it slow. They slow the pace of the round down. They play for picks. Based on the picks, they make their mid-round decision. It's very easy going from that. But
oh my God.
Blame F with the flashbang from Freiburg and S-Attack. It's perfect. And it's going to be in the favor of, well, Heroic now. 3 versus 1. MBK all on his lonesome. But he has managed to find out where one player was, but it's Blame F from above. 14-7. Heroic 2 away now from getting to the upper bracket. We are hyping this up a lot. It is still just the first game of IEM Chicago.
Even still,
but it's a huge game. It's a huge win for Heroic with this new roster.
If they get this through, if they close this out, this is a massive victory for Heroic, and one that I think they needed. Like, for this roster going forward, they want to start doing some damage at these top tier events, not just, okay, we got here, that's sort of it. No, they got given a pass that they shouldn't have had. Like in the qualifier, I think it was Fours who actually managed to get the qualifier spot and wasn't able to come here, unfortunately, which is a huge shame for them. But Heroic, if they grab this chance and they run with it, that'll be fantastic for them. And, well, I think it's something that's necessary. MBK, he's going to go down. He's been the one glimmer of hope in Vitality for this game. I'm not even sure if there's a player still. No, okay, there's 2. 11 frags is the next highest fragger from him on Vitality. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you never expect to see this many players just falling flat all at the same time. There's a couple of kills every round that seem to bring a little bit of hope back, but Heroic are dominating. 15-7, 1 round in the next 8 for them to go through into the upper bracket, beating the best team in their group.
Exactly that, the best team in their group. We expected Liquid +1 out of Group A, and obviously Vitality +1 out of Group B. Yeah, Heroic, as we said before, this is the best win that this roster would have had if they are to claim this final round. They have 8 chances to do it, but up against them is ZywOo with the AWP, even though he has been very quiet so far. But good start here for Heroic. Freiburg playing so aggressive here. He's got 1, but Apex brings it back with 2. 4 versus 2 now as the players are all going down here for Heroic. But Freiburg again makes this into a 2 versus 2. And this could be very winnable now, especially as there's an AWP rotating in towards A main and towards Squeaky as well. So this could go one of 2 ways.
ZywOo waiting patiently. Freiburg rounding into his crosshair, and he may have been quiet, but he's not going to miss that. Nato now left alone, going for the flash, trying to gain a little bit of ground, but what he doesn't realize is MBK is waiting just around the corner, peeks out, spots his opponent, needs this duel and won't have it. MBK continues to perform as they get their 8th round onto the board. Now, we saw them string rounds together when it came to their CT side of Overpass. We know that they can do it. We know it can be done as well because Heroic did it. They won 11 rounds in a row on their CT side. The question is this now going to be the step up? That's the first round also we've seen ZywOo with an AWP in his hands on this CT side, so anything can change. Like, I think the second you start doubting this man's ability is the second he punishes you.
It was only 1 kill, but I give it to you. It was an important one to take down Freiburg.
Yeah. I'm just saying he's now got it. Like, obviously, they negated him in the round, basically, other than him going in for the retake, so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Freiburg there, if he got the kill on a player towards their main, they have that in the afterplant. Obviously, NATO Suffix and Freiburg can play a crossfire together. Would have been so awkward for MBK if he wasn't that 1 versus 1. But thankfully, ZywOo, as you said with the AWP, does finish him. However, 7 more rounds to be won in a row for Vitality if they want a chance of just overtime as well. Forget the win. That's out the window for now. As they have Alex playing towards the secret stairs on the CT side. ZywOo with the AWP playing towards ramp. Maybe they're expecting a bit of a rush there.
I think they heard RPK dropping down, so at least a little bit of information gathered up. We are now starting to get buys where Vitality actually have everything as well. Like we hadn't seen too many like high utility, like strong weaponry rounds coming out from the French side, so possibility for some difference. ZywOo still playing over on towards the ramp. It still looks like they're going to try and just brute force this in towards the A side. Freiburg has been very good at wrapping around the outside and pincering off these players, and with already Alex down deep within the B site, there is still going to be a long rotation back if RPK and Apex aren't going to be able to hold this one down. Molotov actually goes right into both of their positions. STAG can only get 1, but they now know RPK's here and will be able to finish him. However, everyone else is lost in the meantime. A quick rotation from ZywOo and MBK is enough. And that's a 9th now on the board, but still
scary now.
Remains.
Yeah, this is really scary. Heroic playing quite scared. They're playing passive. They're waiting for, what, the initial 30, 45 seconds for an aggression to come out from Vitality, and then they're pulling the trigger on an execution towards the site, and Vitality are ready for that. Plays directly into their hands. I mean, think of the team play that Vitality have. Crossfires, the setups, especially on the CT side of their map pick on Nuke. And we are finally witnessing the first tactical timeout coming out from Heroic. All they need is 1 round out of the next 6. Alex still going to be on a UMP. Not even got the full buy coming out from Vitality. And for Heroic, this may be the last actual full buy they have for maybe 1 more round. So hopefully they can get it done here if they want a chance of the upset.
Yeah, the thing is, with having that much of a lead, the loss bonus then starts to build up behind you, and you can get buy after buy after buy. So Vitality are definitely going to have a fair amount of pressure on them on this CT side, but they are a team that thrives under it, so we'll see whether or not Heroic are going to be able to close this out. And I think they need to do it soon, in all honesty. I think that it will definitely get into their heads. If this gets to 15-12, I'd almost say that that's OT, because it's going to be tough after that point to go, okay, what do we now do? NATO, quick push outside, but he's closed out by MBK. It seems like there's been an adjustment there, not playing these close angles anymore, a fallback, passive position, and just allowing them to have that initial outside control and then closing them out once they try and wrap back round.
Yeah, I mean, I said before, they were playing too passive. They went to play aggressive again. They took the pause. They mentally reset. However, NATO Suffix losing that duel early to MBK. Blame F was flashed as well, so he was slightly late on the peak to try and go for the trade frag. And with that, MBK able to find 2. Look how aggressive STAG here is as well on his lonesome, trying to see if he can scout out the next kill onto MBK. He does see him, but misses the slight adjustment with the scope, but he does land the re-shot. Oh, and the kill as well onto ZywOo. That was very fancy. Now suddenly, Tom, we have a round.
Yeah, he's gathered so much space that Stound's not going to try and work off of this. Alex has a real job on his hands. The UMP to try and defend this off Freiburg. Just going to be trying to avoid facing off against that angle. He peeks into it, but now Alex doesn't connect. And now Freiburg's going to get that opener as well. And now look at Stound. He's waiting perfectly placed to take down Apex. It's left onto the tank to try and clutch this out. He knows where the youngster is, but there's nothing he can do. 30 kills coming in, or 31 in the last map from Freiburg. 29 now for Stound with a big step up from STAG as well. And Heroic have just taken